Let's kick off into some StarCraft 2. We're going to start this off today in the bottom right of Triton, our blue Zerg player. Give it up if you're cheering on the wonderful WardiTV 2020 champion, RagnaroK. In the top left-hand side, our red Protoss player. This is Trap. This is like GSL. Oh, it's like a GSL in a day. It's like we bundled up GSL and we gave it to you guys in, like, you know, a little, like, pocket-sized adventure. That's what it is. It's like a pocket-sized GSL. You know, it comes in a day. No, it doesn't quite feed it in all the features. Like, it doesn't have your Maru or your Dark this time around, although we have had both Maru and Dark play in the last few Kung Fu Cups. So yeah, it doesn't have every player, but it's got a lot of them. And it fits into a nice little 5-hour window, so you don't have to watch, you know, 3 months of GSL season. You just get it all in one day. Obviously, I mean, GSL is fantastic, and it's just amazing that we can have such high-quality players in an event like this. And consistently as well, because it's $400, it's just like, you know, every single freaking week you're gonna get everyone signing up, basically, unless there's like a major event on the doorstep. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Some info on Trap versus RagnaroK here. So actually, they played a little bit recently. RagnaroK beat... They haven't played in 2020 so far, but RagnaroK beat Trap 1-0 in a BJ Destruction match back in October. And then the last time they played was in the WardiTV Summer Championship in the group stages in August. And that was a RagnaroK victory as well. The last time Trap won against RagnaroK in an official match was in May of last year in the China Team Championship regular season. But actually, that was the only time Trap won against RagnaroK in 2019. Lost to him twice in GSLs. Whether it was, I think it was both qualifiers. But wow, RagnaroK really had Trap's number last year. And Trap was a player last year that dominated, albeit when he dominated, he was a little bit behind, a little bit lacking, specifically in the PvZ matchup. And RagnaroK absolutely sends that idea home with what we've just read out there in terms of statistics against, you know, between these guys for the last year or so. Did you see Trap will set up a Stargate and get this building up here in the main base? Stargate on the way as we see the Zergling speed cancelled. Okay, maybe I delayed that just so I could say cancelled at the right time. So yeah, just obviously RagnaroK feeling like he's okay for the moment. Now, this is obviously a lot of gas he's already got. Just doesn't feel like he needs to invest into speed yet, which gives him a little bit more. It also gives him the few extra minerals that's still there, rather than 100 minerals invested into the speed, but he's not really spending all that money, so I'm very intrigued as to where this is going. Now he starts to spend a bit more of it. The Adept takes some initial shield damage as it flies in. The Oracle on the way up from the Stargate, so that's going to be building here. Is this Adept going to shade back out up through into the center of the map, so pulling this away back up the top side. And yeah, I guess we'll take a moment or two to just calm this down and see where this goes. Another gateway off to the right here. I'm just going to be seeing the link speed coming in from RagnaroK as well. Spore Crawler building up too. And a couple of the queens from RagnaroK just coming back over towards the natural expansion, moving around a little bit. Overall, I mean, it was just the one Adept here from Trap. He brought them both back home now, and just the single Oracle coming across the map. He will go into Oracle number 2. He's built that Stalker, so he's not really intending to build in towards the Phoenix at all here. So just looking to go Stalker. Is that high ground vision back? Oh, he loses high ground vision, so the Overlord survives. We'll probably just send the other Oracle over there, obviously, but that is a slight annoyance, not actually killing the Overlord, just because, it would have supply blocked RagnaroK right here, for example. So, you know, just having that delayed a little bit. There's a supply block now, but 2 Overlords finish up. Oh, sorry, 1 Overlord finished up, so actually he's still supply blocked, so it is still kind of a big deal. RagnaroK, a macro error on that side. As we do see the Zergling of RagnaroK coming back away down the right, and just going to be seeing the Oracle making its way towards the main base. A couple of these Adepts continuing to come down the left. And as we see the Roach setting up from RagnaroK, a lair building up. We've got the Nexus, we've got the Robo facility all coming through. All the good stuff here as that Oracle pops out. I'm just going to be seeing it moving into the center. That's our second. Is that only our second Oracle? He lost an Oracle. God damn it, where did he lose an Oracle? He didn't even deal any damage. Did he just, like, fly into these queens? Yeah, he flew into these queens. Well, that is his 3rd Oracle of the game, but obviously he's still on 2 is a real shame. So that's a nice pick-off from RagnaroK. Yeah, a little bit of a mistake from Trap, and that's the sort of things you can't really afford to be doing too often in these kind of matches. As you do see, the 2 Oracles going to fly in and activating, picking off a couple of these drones already. So 4 workers going down, make that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 workers killed here already, as you will see these 2 Oracles flying away into the bottom right-hand corners. They're going to be hiding away there, but again, really good damage done so far. As you do see, Forge on the way up, Twilight Council on the way up, and the Immortal production coming through as well. There's a Hydralisk then coming in on the 3rd base. I'm just going to be seeing the 4th hatchery dropping in at the front as well. So getting that 4th hatch up and running as we see the creep spread. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. And we're just going to be seeing the +1 weapon upgrade on the Forge, getting ready to roll as well. So just pumping that out. Again, charge coming up here from Trap. Getting that ready to go. The Hallucinated Phoenix will continue down to the bottom side of the map. I'm just going to be seeing the extra gateways here from Trap setting up in this main base. So building all of these up right now as the Oracles come back in, getting 4 drone kills, sniping those down nice and quickly. Hallucinated Phoenix here attacking this Overlord and being like, haha, I got you! I gotta get you! If you believe in yourself enough, eventually this Overlord might take 1 damage hallucination. Believe in yourself, don't let the Hydras kill you! Okay, it's over. And the drone kill count, though, is actually rising up. These Adepts coming back in, and they are getting some serious damage done as well. How about that? 8 workers killed here, combined with the Oracles into the main base, so really, all of a sudden, Trap is ramping up the aggression. He's killed 17 drones in the last few seconds. I mean, this is kind of crazy, right? Because he really hadn't done anything by the time he'd lost that first Oracle. So what a turnaround this is to have lost an Oracle and then do so well. This is a push out which is just going to back away. This is absolutely no way committed at all. There's a lot of lings on the map, so you've got to be a bit careful here as Trap. You can't go too far forwards. He will hallucinate. He will see this. He already knew it was Hydras, so he already knew about this a little bit. As he actually has to force field one of his Stalkers out, he'll stop and kill a few of those lings. Actually, the rest of the lings can kind of sneak through here as well. A couple more force fields hold off the Hydras, though. With the Zealots there, it is a good hold, so that's actually really nice from Trap, picking up some kills for the cost of 1 Stalker. Because he saw it was Hydralisks early in the game, he's now starting to move in towards Storm. And taking this in towards Storm in these early stages, as we see an extra Stalker going to warp in, and that's going to start attacking down this Overseer, but Overlord speed finishes up, and vroom, vroom. That Overseer's out of there. Back through the natural, over across towards the 3rd. Full information, full scout, and absolutely nothing lost. Still full of health to come back in again later, though not if it dances with the cannon. The cannon of death, if you spend too long around it. Dropper Lords out of RagnaroK, going to ramp up the aggression a little bit, start taking these Hydras in a few different locations. Definitely one way. I mean, Overlord speed finishing makes a lot of sense to start putting it to some use. And in a style like this, it generally is a style where you're looking for ways to deal damage, and that's not necessarily always going to be found by taking a straight up fight in towards the Protoss player. So trying to drop around, forcing the Protoss army to split up, kind of how a Terran approaches the Protoss matchup sometimes. Well, it can definitely work. Hallucination trying to figure this out is... I think he might have just seen the edge of these Overlords here. Hard to say for sure. Hallucination went down, and Trap is going to pull back, but that's no surprise because in general he's going to want to play defensively here anyways. Taking the 4th base on the right side is interesting as well. I think what that stops from happening is it kind of stops if you take the 4th base over here. The Zerg actually likes to attack here. They can rotate here, and they can also rotate around here and attack down into the natural 3rd very easily. If you take the 4th here, it's a bit further forwards, and I mean, you're just out of position here, Trav. You've just been chasing around a bunch of Zerglings for no reason. But realistically, you should be able to position yourself here and then pull back to defend the 3rd if there's a run by. And that generally takes away this big concave area the Zerg usually gets to work with, of course. Now you get that 4th base cancelled. I mean, that's because Trap was, again, just chasing down these lings on the left side. That didn't require the whole army, believe it or not. As now you see some Banes loading up in those Dropper Lords. It's just going to be Baneling drops or Baneling bombs on top of this army. That's the attempt here. A couple more Storms dropping down. Some Lings coming in from the left side. Some more Storms available. I mean, High Templars might have to morph into Archons here as the Banelings drop down on top of them. Shield Barrier's trying to protect. He does get one Archon morphed. There's only really Hydras left here. If the Archons that remain and the Immortals, I think he pushed this back as Trap. He is going to go chasing, and he could just do with a couple of charge lots to just really close the distance. But it's going to work out anyways. Those Hydras get pushed away back into the center. Archon's able to pick off the Overlord, and Zealots are now counterattacking the bottom left-hand side. So RagnaroK is going to have to go on the defensive here, and he just used up all of his Banelings, so he only has Ling Hydra to fight this. Generally means that this is going to be a good little fight, although look at this. Trap's going to move back and then come back in again later. Maybe wants to line this up a bit more with the whole army moving around, or just wants to make it that little bit less predictable. In the end, he's going to end up fighting these Zerglings which I think is okay for Trap. I'm surprised he pulls back. You can see RagnaroK was like, yep, that's not a fight I'm taking just yet. No need to fight that if it's so far away from my base. Not when it's just Zerglings as well, obviously. You know, eventually you can get up into more Hydras, or maybe just more Zerglings so you get a proper surround, because that wasn't being a surround before. Now you will get the surround. Ooh, gonna try and recall the Zealots. Trap really does not want to take this fight. So the Zealots get recalled out of that. A recall, I feel like you wouldn't usually see happening, but it works out here. As our Warp Prism moves its way down the right-hand side, making its way toward the main base. We're going to be seeing the Ling Bane. Going to be setting up. Watchtower taking there for a moment. A little bit of Ling Hydra coming out to the left-hand side as well. And a bit of back and forth here between the two of them. Just moving around, figuring out where they want to go. Resources lost is going to be Trap favored. Really cleaned up a lot in a couple of these fights. And RagnaroK's economy is on 76. He just went up to 82 workers. So that income has been ahead, don't get me wrong, but it's not like this crazy booming economy, which maybe is somewhat because, as he uses Banes on the rocks, that's a mistake. Maybe somewhat because he cancelled the 4th base, he didn't feel like he needed to go up into it, which is somewhat true. But I've got to say that I feel like, you know, either way, it means that Trap is just okay, right? Because Trap's economy is not being great, but neither has RagnaroK. So it means RagnaroK never really took advantage of killing that base, and now RagnaroK's going to lose his own forward base. This is a wonderful play. Just Zealots into the main base and then the rest of the army over here. At the same time, the Zerg across the map. So Trap will have to respond and use the recall, saving Zealots just a minute ago. So the recall's on cooldown right now. Lings and Banes and Hydras in the center of the map trying to catch this army. Storms all over. The High Templar get caught. They get taken down. But there's still Archons and Immortals standing as the entire main base of Trap is being ransacked by Ling Hydra. Can he defend? Zealots have already used their charge. So the Nexus goes down. Extra Zealots from the right side will come in. These Hydras will be in trouble, but of course they can just lift up and get back in the Overlords, which is what they'll do. No, Hydra buddy trying to get back in and didn't make it. Well, Trap loses the main base, but he kills off the 4th base over here. Now, yeah, RagnaroK has a new base up on this right side. We'll see if that's going to be enough for him and for the moment, as we see +1 missiles coming up on the 3rd base as well. +3 attack on the Forge. A couple of extra Immortals on the way out. And the Templar Archives dropping in on that 3rd base as well. Ooh, and the game slows down for a moment or two as we do see the Ling Hydra from RagnaroK pulling back away down the left. Just re-expand towards 5th base and, you know, Trap retaking the main. Trap did lose workers in this main base, where RagnaroK was able to keep a lot of his workers alive for the most of this. And that definitely is maybe a bit of a difference. He means that RagnaroK is going to be really starting to mine a bit more again. Actually, it's not that much of an income difference, maybe because he's missing the 5th. Obviously, a lot of workers had to pull away there. I just expected this to be a bit on the higher end at this point. He's a bit oversaturated here. I guess he's not mining here. He's just oversaturated, right? He's got the drones that he doesn't have a base for. So losing that base is actually really impacting him more so than I just misread the time in the game, right? It's obviously you lose a base when you're oversaturated elsewhere, and it's really bad for you, and that's exactly what's happened. As that's a nice catch, though. Warp Prism. Oh my god, with sentries inside? He's trying to force field, because there's no Ravagers, he's trying to force field the ramp and warp in Zealots into the main base. That's a huge catch for RagnaroK. I mean, that's what, 400 gas that just goes down the drain? Well, that actually is a huge catch, as we're going to be seeing. Oh no, this Protoss army kind of in the middle of nowhere. Force field's desperately coming down. Guess who didn't get any storms off? Yes, you're right if you said High Templar. 100 points to you as the Ling Bane Hydra comes for the surround, crashes through it, and that's how this game ends. RagnaroK just catching Trap off guard in the center, getting us around, and that's a fight you don't. It's a tough life, you know. Sometimes you can't settle for the best job in the business. I mean, you think about it, these beeps get to the highest stages in the world. There's countdown beeps for BlizzCon, there's countdown beeps in every tournament ever. It's crazy. It's wild. Here I am, grinding my way away on the online tournament scene. Still being outdone by the beep, still trying to pretend I am one. Maybe it's rude of me to try and take the beep's job away from it. Maybe I should just accept my job as a caster and not beep. Maybe I should stop this really weird conversation and introduce the players. Like I say, it's a bit of a weird but hype mood today. You know, I don't know if you guys ever get this when you're just like genuinely like happy. So you just sort of talk some shit, but it's also in a very like positive way. And I feel like it works well for hype, you know, I feel like it works well for casting. Apart from when you guys have to listen to me talk about being a StarCraft beep for like, you know, a few seconds. Half a minute or so. And still talking about it despite the fact I stopped half a minute ago, which is really quite impressive. Top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player. This is RagnaroK. Up 1-0 against the Protoss player who's not beaten RagnaroK since May of 2019. we do have our Red Protoss Trap. And interestingly enough, they didn't play in a Kung Fu Cup since November of 2018. They, I mean, Kung Fu Cups didn't exist until the last month or so of 2019. So that's not too crazy, but it has been about 10 or so, maybe 15 Kung Fu Cups since they've met each other in one of these brackets. Haven't even met each other in the Lima Leagues much. They used to meet each other in the Lima Leagues all the time, apparently, when maybe Trap just had a phase of playing the Lima Leagues. This is like in 2018 or so. Definitely seems like a possibility. As we do see the Cybernetics core from Trap setting up at the front. The third hatchery from RagnaroK already dropping down over to the side. And the Overlord coming along here as well. Looking to see what's going to happen. Just making his way down to the bottom side here. Cybercore going to be finishing, and we do see the Adept is going to be chrono boosting out. My beeps were low energy. No wonder I didn't get the job. Well, that's because every time I beep nowadays, I think about getting turned down. And that sadness, resonates in my beeps. And I just can't get over that mental hurdle. Obviously. Ugh. I get it. My beeps aren't good, okay? Don't have to put salt in the wound. Wow. Twitch chat's brutal today, huh? Early Adept coming across with the Stargate opening trap. Getting set up here early. Gonna be coming across and just going to be seeing the third hatchery is about to finish up. So third hatch going to be completing here in just a few moments. Adept going to be making its way into the center. Just a couple of Adepts this time. So this isn't really aggression we saw this early on in the game, in game number 1. We saw this kind of aggression kind of build up, and eventually it kind of got there. But it wasn't, again, it was a little bit slow to get there. So he didn't really do much with it here either. But last time it was just one Adept, and he kept the 2 Adepts at home a little bit more. Not doing that here on Ephemeron. As we do just see the Oracle production continue. And obviously, hopefully this time, Trap doesn't lose an early Oracle to the Queens without doing anything at all. Like, if you lose an Oracle and you, like, kill 4 workers and you were, like, reaching for number 5 and you just mistimed it, like, okay, it happens. Losing an Oracle and not even getting a drone kill is, like, Trap? Is that you? Did somebody, blink twice if somebody took your keyboard? Not that we'd be able to help, because we can't see you blinking right now because, you're not on webcam or anything, but, the thought is there. But yeah, it's really kind of tough as we see the Overlord getting picked off. And that will go down. 11 more drones coming out. Going to be seeing 6 more Lings coming up. Ling speed coming in. And just going to be seeing the Robo Facility from Trap is going to be dropping down in the natural expansion. Again, couple of Oracles out over the left-hand side. And it's going to be a third Oracle again, so looking to play similarly. We'll see if he maybe ramps up the aggression a bit this time, because you can absolutely go very much so heavily committed into this, if you would like to. You can very heavy commitment to like an all-in as you go triple Oracle. The triple Oracle damage, leads you into a good position to do that, as these Adepts really do just die for drones. One single drone going down. Good defense, good catch with the Zerglings. RagnaroK not letting Trap do much at all. As we just do have the Oracles again, pressing forwards and going to find a Creep Tumor, a drone. Maybe some more of these drones here. Going to find 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I mean, this is where you lose an Oracle, but it's kind of okay, right? Because you're doing so much damage anyways. 8 workers killed, and you keep 2 of them alive, which are going to recall out of there to get home safely. Yeah, I like it, right? I mean, you kill 8 workers early in the game as well, right? Much earlier than what you killed workers last time around. And the earlier you kill workers, the more, more impact it has. The sooner your opponent loses that, valuable mining from those 8 workers, for example, the sooner that happens, the more it affects you through the game. So, nice quick damage done. Lose 1 Oracle for it. Like I said, I think that's fine, as we're going to be seeing a bunch of extra gates starting up. But it is just as we have 3 bases and, saturation being established. Trap hasn't cut probes at all here, so he's just going to play off the 3 bases and kind of go from there. Oracle's going to jump on towards the 4th hatchery, so we're going to be picking away at this. This 4th hatch about to drop down. Will be cancelled up, of course, so you see the Spire just Building up as well from RagnaroK, so getting this ready to go. The Baneling Nest dropping down in the back of the third base. Bane Nest, Roach Speed, all of this coming through. A couple more Creep Achievements going to get picked off as well. That Hallucination is going to expire. And it's just going to be seeing the rest of the Zerglings coming back down the bottom side. Oh no, Trap has just lost his sentries. Well, he's lost one of his sentries. Wow, that's an insane defense. This is actually crazy. How are these Adepts in front of the sentries there? I mean, still not brilliant because the Immortal's going to go down, but the fact the sentries survived this long was kind of a miracle in itself. In the end, these Lings clean up everything, though, and that's disastrous for Trap because these Lings are not worth that much to RagnaroK, right? You know, he doesn't care about Zerglings. Like, yeah, you probably need them. At some point, you need to add on, you know, Lings, and you need a good account of them. But to trade out Lings for sentries and an Immortal, hello, jackpot, ding, ding, ding. RagnaroK is really happy with this right now, and he's going into Corruptors because he sees the Phoenix production. Because the Spire got seen. Yes, so the Spire came down, Spire got scouted, in response Phoenix are being made, and so RagnaroK will open Corruptors probably into Mutalisks. Although right now just going for a lot of Roach Ravager. Often a lot of those Ravagers may be afraid of a ground attack and looking to overwhelm if Trap tries to move out at all. Looks like Trap's just establishing a fourth base though, Probe on the way down, Pylon already lined up. So Nexus will be dropping in there soon enough. So I'm going to get that Nexus down as we do see the Infestation Pit of RagnaroK behind the main base mineral line. Oracles fly in, picking off a drone. As these Corruptors come through, and they're going to be able to do a lot. A couple of Queens, good damage, and wow, both the Oracles go down. I mean, kind of hard to not go down when you're being chased by freaking Corruptors of all things, right? So, not too much of a surprise, I suppose. And we've seen some more Banelings setting up in the center from RagnaroK. Infestation Pit just finished up. Going to see that +2 attack upgrade on the Forge as well. Nexus building on the left-hand side. And we do see these Zealots going to make their way up the left as well. So away they go on a little bit of an adventure, just a distraction as the main army is going to hit the upper right. I don't like it. There's no Storm for the Banelings. There's just not enough here from Trap. If he has like High Templars and Storm, I think he can maybe fight this, but if you've just got Archon and Immortal, I'm pretty sure you just have to sit defensively. You know, there's just, because getting aggressive, you're trying to push forwards, which just doesn't really work with how Archons and Immortals deal with the Banelings. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we're just going to have to see this. Obviously, we are seeing a pullback. We'll probably have to see Storm at some point, right? I mean, Trap is taking the fourth base gases, so he's got the gas. You would imagine Storm at some stage. He has Hive now on the way up from RagnaroK, so he's also going to be able to improve his position in the game. So we got the Lingbane Ravager coming back around this bottom side. Coming around the right, seeing where it can get up to. He's out on the right side, getting caught again. So Trap's really not getting much done with these attempted Zealot run-bys. Really not going well for him at all in this sort of regard. Hive gonna be finishing up soon from RagnaroK as well, so getting that completed. A few of these Zealots being chased away off over to the left, and Trap coming back around over to the right. Gonna pick his way through these rocks. The Archon's putting that to work. The Zealots gonna gather themselves up. So army of RagnaroK is, well, coming out into the middle. I mean, Trap is again just an Archon and Immortal here. He's got a few different Zealots around the map. Oh, these ones, if they walk into that Baneling army, that's real sad. That would be really, really sad. I mean, they kind of get caught just as badly, so they do really nothing at all. Really nothing at all, as we do have Immortals and Archon's going to try and spread out over here, but I mean, look at the amount of Banelings that are just rolling through. Trap losing some probes in his third base at the same time, and RagnaroK just has too much. Trap just does not have the numbers at all to fight this. And that's going to be Ling Roach Ravager chasing forwards, RagnaroK playing cleanup, some Zealots in the upper right-hand side picking off this hatchery. That's going to go down. That's a nice, I mean, that's okay. I mean, okay, you get a pick off, but, you know, it costs you your entire army. And if that costs you your entire army, it's really not worthwhile. I can tell you that right away here. So really not looking good as Great Aspire. Going to be finishing up soon from RagnaroK as well. So getting that completed. A few of these Zealots being chased away off over to the left, and Trap coming back around over to the right. on the way up. So getting that Great Aspire running, a few extra Corruptors coming out. A Roach going to be popping. I'm just going to be seeing Ling Roach Ravager coming out over the left-hand side. Did it go chasing down those Zealots? So yeah, chasing these Zealots down, they're going to be all dropping down dead. And this is not looking pretty, guys. It's not looking pretty at all. As we do see the Innervase is all setting up. You can see a Robo Facility finishing up here from Trap as well. As we do just have Roach Ravager still making its way down the bottom side of the map. These Zealots off over to the right-hand side. Flux Veins on the way up on the Fleet Beacon. 2 more Void Rays about to pop. Plus 1 Air Weapons coming in. I mean, it's really desperation moves from Trap to try and go into like Speed Voids as a way to fight the Broods. And Desperation is a pretty good summary of this game because a lot of these attacks felt desperate. They felt like they didn't really have much hope in them, and yet he went for them anyways. Looks like RagnaroK is going to pick up a nice early 2-0 here today. As these Laws do pick away at some of the Roaches on the left-hand side. Still got some more Roach Ravager pushing their way down in towards this third base. A couple of corrosive bars popping down a shield battery, and the Roach Ravager backs away again. Plus 1 air weapon still on the way up. Plus 3 attack on the Forge as well. I'm just going to be seeing the Observer hanging around watching this Roach Ravager army as well. Looking like we're going to have a move in towards the middle here. And I mean, honestly, it's just scary, right? I mean, you got to remember RagnaroK is just building up a crazy amount of Broodlord Corruptor back at home. So, you know, the longer the Trap waits, the worse this is for him. And honestly, what is this, an army? Like, is this an army? I mean, okay, there's the rest of it coming in. It's a nice catch, actually, in the end, with a couple force fields slowing down some of the retreating pathways. Zeld, Archon Immortal coming up. Void Ray is very, very narrowly killing an Overlord. It like finishes up on 1 HP. And we're going to see the Voids now going to go in. I mean, they have some real power, those Voids. There's enough of them. But it's, again, will they be able to do enough in a fight? And I kind of feel like the answer will be no, but we'll see, we'll see. Corruptor's out on the right side. War Prism up the left. Gonna be making its way in towards the main, and we're just gonna be seeing Archons and Immortals into the center. Prism up the top side. Zalt's moving in. Zalt's in that right side as well. I mean, in the end here, Trap's been able to get maxed out. But remember, while he's been maxing, you know, RagnaroK has been setting up into like the perfect army to really deal with something like this. He loses the Spire now, though. So that goes down. Obviously, the Broodlord count is already kind of up there, and it is cleaning up the Zealots on the right side. Zealots in the main didn't do much either. That's the issue. You've just committed so much, and what have you actually killed? About 5 drones? So already the lack of Zealots there will hurt a bit. I mean, the fact that Broods aren't in this fight, though, is allowing this army to do so much more than expected. Recalls a lot of it. A few corrosive bars dropping down. But again, what did he really end up doing here? If these Zealots can get this hatchery, then maybe you could argue this is playable for Trap because he's going to be putting it down to 4 bases each. But honestly, I'm still not quite convinced, as we see the Corruptors actually going to end up chasing and killing off all the Voids. So there goes pretty much all of the anti-air which we had going on. So all those Voids going down. Now we've got these Zealots up the right side. I mean, I don't know. It's I'm not being, maybe I'm a bit biased towards RagnaroK right now in the casting, but guys, like, he's got a bunch of Broodlords and Trap really doesn't have much at all. Prism coming up the left-hand side, going to be going in toward the main. Zealots up the right, and we're just going to be seeing the Corruptors are going to come through and snipe down the Warp Prism. So Warp Prism will go down. Yeah, I mean, it's just like nothing's going right for Trap. Like, these attempts are the right ideas, don't get me wrong. You know, it's the right thing to be doing. But because of how the earlier stages of the game went, he needs these to be doing more than what they are doing. I mean, he's going to try and base trade it right now, which might work. I mean, if you can't fight the Broodlords, fight around them. It's been, you know, an old-time saying in the world of StarCraft 2, as we do see this hatch getting picked away at. Spore Crawler going down as well. Zealot's trying to run in for a few of those roaches. We see some of these drones getting picked off as well. 7, 8 drones going down. 9 workers picked off in total. So this is a little bit better, but obviously at the same time, as Trap, you lose your 5th base, you lose your 4th base. He's trying to expand on the right-hand side. He's trying anything to try and keep this game alive. Unfortunately, this game just is not staying alive. He's getting Dark Templar up. Another way he could maybe come back. Well, I'm not going to lie. I haven't been a believer so far. He's about to have Blink, so he can help out here a little bit as well. Abducts on the Mothership when... Well, I mean, okay, Mothership goes down. Well, Broodlord's now showing up, of course. Again, the fact that you're no longer attacking around this becomes the issue, right? And is there a way to get rid of these broods? Remember, if these broods die, there is no greater spires. There's actually no rebuilding of the air units here from Trap. And that goes for the Corruptors as well. When you're only down to, what, like 11? If Trap had, like, the Void Ray count here again, maybe he could do something with it. Hey, I tell you what, these Zealots going to go top right as well. They're going to go for this. There's just so many spines as well, though. With the units that are there, the spines will buy so much time. Again, Trap is looking okay. He's looking to try and come around the back to try and get on top of the Broodlords, it seems. These Zealots still trying to keep this busy. 25 probes have gone down. A couple of Stormers from the High Templar. Doing a lot of starter damage here, especially onto the Broodlords. Looks like the War Prism will go down. One last Storm. You're going to be seeing the rest of the High Templars coming through as well. A lot of the Hydras being picked away at. These Archons might be able to get underneath the Broodlord. Stalkers blinking in. And what is happening? Stalkers are going to be getting there. The Broods are going to try and go towards the main base where they're going to be out of range of the Archons at the very least. Well, some of these Stalkers have Blink still available, blinking up to the high ground, and Trap is going to kill every single Broodlord here, apart from maybe one. Couple more Stalkers, though. He's going to get that one, too. At the same time, Corruptor's trying to kill this base, but here the Archons on the recall. Trap goes for the save. Can he save it? No, he cannot. The thing is, these Corruptors are dead weight anyways because there's no greater spires, so you can't morph them into Broodlords again. Does it matter? Is there even anything left on the ground? Did Trap just win this game? What's just happened? What just happened? Army moving forwards. What just happened? Seismic Spines on the way up. God, Trap really played this well, huh? He really didn't have many ways to win this game. He really didn't have many ways to win this game. And this is probably the only way he could do it, and he's done it. If he can fight these lurkers and not lose out to them. I mean, does he have detection? I don't think he has detection, right? No, so he doesn't fight the lurkers here. Why is this close to observer? Oh, no, there's his observer. So he does have detection here. He's going to go kill the 3rd base instead. A lot of lurkers building. Oh, my God. What the actual hell just happened here, guys? That was so sick by Trap. Again, he knew he couldn't fight it straight up. He knew what he needed to try and do. Fight around it for as long as possible. He's only on 3 bases himself, remember, so he doesn't have a greater eco. That's a lot of lurkers protecting the 1 mining base of RagnaroK. Feelings get by in towards the natural expansion. The rest of this army from Trap coming back away. Going to see a couple Stalkers and a couple Zealots going up to the top here. I don't know. Trap's been losing this game since like the 10-minute marker. And I'm just still trying to come to terms with the fact it's not actually over. like, what the hell? He's just gonna go and kill off everything else because everything of RagnaroK has to sit on 1 base. This is where as Trap, if you can afford voids, you make voids because there's literally nothing that can kill voids anymore. And they will just get rid of all of these lurkers for free. Like, what the actual leaps? An epic 21-minute game here on Ephemeron. Trap making the turnaround happen, and we're just going to be seeing Archons, Immortals just setting up as well. These Zealots going to go in after the spawning pool. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, it's all from things that happened early in the game as well, right? Because, like, these lurkers make a play. Because if he didn't kill the Great Spire early in the game as well, it would have been a very different scenario too. I mean, yeah, you kill a base here as RagnaroK, but now Trap's going to kill a base as well, right? So this should go down. The lurkers, if they want to try and come into this, he's going to go for the surround around this. Storm dropping down. Trap trying to fight just half the lurkers at once. Storming where possible. He's not going to have the Immortal count to really fight this properly, though. So it's down to just Archons trying to clean up the last few lurkers here, and it's not going to happen. So actually, RagnaroK will hold. These Archons trying to do a little bit more. Picks off the Observer. He's gonna get... Does he get each of these... oh my god, he's actually gonna show up with the DT. And there's no detection from RagnaroK. That's why RagnaroK's gonna lose the game, because he has no detection. Oh my god, that lurker just burrows up. It doesn't matter. This DT is gonna win the game, I think, because he's gonna kill the final hatchery. He's afraid. He's afraid. There is an Overseer morphing in, so he's not wrong. He backs away there. Going for the hatch was a commitment. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Trap just GG'd out? Does he just have literally nothing? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on, hang on. He trapped GG's. What? Is he, like, fully reliant on the DTs? RagnaroK has no mining. Yeah, Trap's long distance mining, but RagnaroK has no mining. RagnaroK literally has 5 Hydras and a lurker. What? No. Really? Observer goes down. So he lost the Observer. I mean, yeah, the Observer's expensive, but it doesn't mean he can't get another one. There's only one lurker left. I mean, obviously, maybe RagnaroK can morph more lurkers, but he's got no mining. I don't feel like you should just GG there. It's 28-9. RagnaroK just won the